I would
Oh,
regret
hey.
it if people look back at the first episode and you weren't on it.
Yeah, well, I like that. It's called forward thinking.
We have one of the worst beats in the world. We do. Our beat is horrible.
Connor could shove that article up his ass.
And then I went to that game and I was like, this is the greatest team I've ever seen in my life. I'm a Jet fan. This is going to be the greatest run ever. Yeah.
No, because if they take Ekwonu, I'm not complaining.
Joe Douglas is the king of keeping shit close to the vest.
A 2, a 4, and a 6 for Darnold?
Did the Jets really ruin Sam Darnold, or did Sam Darnold just suck all along and we were just trying to talk ourselves into it?
And Hamilton is a player who can potentially make a very big impact.
And suddenly, here we are today. You can't get rid of him.
Right. It's like a plague.
Joe Douglas was hired because he's not those general managers.
Okay, Luscious.
Somebody is going to fall just like Elijah Moore did, just like Michael Carter did.
You know, what would, if you had one sentence to say to Joe Douglas, what would you say? So you would say, you had me at hello, and then give him a big old wet one right on the smack.
Hey, Jets Chaos. I'm Jeremy, and I bring the chaos. What is up, Yoitz Vin? What is going on? Johnny G in the house, and already I'm being referred to by my other name, Snacks. I actually have to cook dinner for my wife in about probably like a half an hour or 35 minutes or something. I got to start getting that going. But I figure I'd jump on because nobody else was on. I think that the Jets YouTube community of content providers should never allow that to happen. I don't think there should ever be a time that any of you go onto YouTube looking for some Jets conversation or a Jets hangout and nobody's on. Now, that could be somebody I don't know very well on, but the guys I know, the ones that are in my phone, when I look, I don't see any live written next to their name, which means nobody's talking Jets, and that's bothersome to me. It's bothersome. Because what would Jets mess do if he had no one to be pessimistic with? Right? I mean, if he couldn't predict that Zach Wilson was going to have more interceptions than touchdowns, what would he possibly do? So here I am. And Snacks Harrison, baby. Yeah, I loved him, by the way. I think we always get more emotionally attached to players that come out of nowhere, that don't have high expectations. And I think Harrison kind of took me by surprise. He wasn't someone that I anticipated to be good or part of the team. So I'm going to say that I really liked him. And because his name is Snacks and people are calling me Snacks, I should like him even more. No, come on later. West Coast Jets suck. Late night. Man, I'm getting too tired for that, though. Even my time. I don't know how you guys are up listening to me sometimes. I'm like, it's like 9:30 p.m. and I'm exhausted and ready to it's because I wake up so early, but I'm ready to like hit the bed and just go to sleep. And I'm like, man, these guys are on the East Coast, some of these guys, and they're still watching. It's crazy. I miss those days where I could just sleep in. Or maybe you're just somebody who sleeps 4 or 5 hours. What's up, Watsu-K99, New York Sports Wicker Media? Anybody who hasn't subscribed there yet, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Get over and subscribe to New York Sports Wicker Media. I still have to get it into my description or my about section. The sun never sets on the Jets empire. That's exactly right. That's why we have to marathon it, up to a certain point at night, I guess. But maybe in the UK, they could take over. Like we go till, I go until late at night, as late as I can go. And then Nick likes to go even later. And then you get somebody in the UK to like take over and they go live. We should never not have content live. We should never not have a place where we can sit and talk Jets or anything else. What's up, Matthew Smith? Still got to mail you something, man. I'm so far behind on that stuff. I got to mail out shirts. I got to mail out this, that, whatnot. But I still have it right here for you. I'm looking right at it. So got those cards for you. Love Snacks, his story. He fit the system in relationship to your snacking. Yeah. He's just perfect. I got to get like a picture of him and something and put it in the profile or some way. Just appreciate Snacks Harrison more. The only problem with him is didn't he go to the Giants after that? And he continued to play well, which just annoys me. You know, I don't know why weren't able to hold him or maintain him. That doesn't seem to make a lot of sense, but whatever. It is what it is. Amphetamines help. Was he a druggie? I didn't know that. You're at 850 subs. I don't know if that's real though, man. I don't know if it's real. I got like I was at 880 once. It's like this. Somebody's like hacking my account or playing the bots game with my account. They sicked all these bots, and I actually wrote a letter to YouTube because I sent him like a message because I'm nervous about it. I don't want to get blamed for it and look like I don't want to get penalized like I'm trying to hack the system. So I have no idea how many subs I really truly have. All I know is when it goes down, the number it goes down to keeps getting higher, like when it's at its lows. So it's like I feel like maybe I'm getting a sneak peek at how many subs I really have, but I really and honestly don't know how many it really is. I just have a lot of people telling me that if it breaks 1,000, quickly monetize, because if it goes under, it doesn't matter. So, you know, we could, you know, what was I saying? I lost my thing at the front. I got to shut my notifications off. Okay. But like, yeah, that's right. So if I go over 1,000, they say quickly monetize. And then if it goes under 1,000, because it's bots, they don't take away your monetization. I don't know. I just wish it would go away and whoever was doing it would stop. I'd like to know how many subs I really have. But I do think it's possible that it truly is like close to 800, like somewhere between 750, 800. I hope, you know, my worst dream is that it goes down to the actual number and I'm still at like 670 where I was when all of it started about 3 weeks to a month ago. That would be like a nightmare. Some people need much sleep because they don't do anything with their time, like me before I started my summer job. That's good. How has Nick been? Haven't seen him in a while. Nick is okay. He went golfing on Friday, which is why he didn't show up Friday night. I think when he golfs, he drinks a lot. And if anybody ever saw him with his friends on Weapons Hot, you'll know that he is a drinker, or amongst other things. So I guess he didn't want to come on. But he's okay. He's okay. I think his son just graduated, I don't know, 5th grade, or a kid graduated 8th grade or something. On Facebook, there's pictures. He looks good. He looks all right. So no need to worry there. In case people don't know, I think Tigo announced it, right? He put pictures up. So it's I think it's safe to talk about because he came on here and was talking about it. That's right. He was on this show talking about it publicly. So it's safe to say that if you don't know, Tigo has a baby boy, mommy and baby doing well. So that's all good. Ryan from Jets Talk 24/7 has a baby girl. Looks perfect. Mommy's doing well. Baby's doing well. Had her home on time on Father's Day. So good for them. Both home with their babies, both celebrating their first Father's Day. We should all give a shout out. If you haven't already, find them on Twitter or Instagram. Give Jets Talk 24/7 Ryan a shout out. Give him some congratulations and love. Give some Tigo some love. They are fathers and they have healthy babies. And hey, that's what life's about, right? Jets gang, what's going on? Marist Old Boys is here. 1:30 here in Fiji. I keep forgetting that you're in Fiji. It's absolutely insane. We got a Jets fan in Fiji. That's cool, man. And so lunchtime in Fiji is at 1:33 still? You still at lunch? That's kind of cool. Everything's laid back in Fiji, man. Yeah, man. Lunch is like 11:30 to 3. I'm just trying to imagine what it's like in Fiji. I got to go on the internet and look at pictures and just trying to imagine myself spending 10 days in Fiji. Makes me think of Mr. Fuji from the Fiji Islands. Is that true? No, I don't think that's where he was from. I lost respect for Nick. Why? Carrot cake? There's nothing wrong with carrot cake, man. Carrot cake is delicious. Are you kidding me? With the cream cheese? That's your youth. When you get older, you will acquire a taste for carrot cake. You know what else is delicious that might gross you out at your age? Zucchini bread. Ooh, delicious. I'm telling you, man. It's like scotch and bourbon. It's acquired through age. What's up, Dark Soldier? Crew. I love that. Everybody has their entry thing. Crew. And then people yell, Dark. Likes help, so hit it. Yeah, likes do help. Likes do help, so hit it. Maybe we get some new people in here, although we're not talking Jets, so they might not like it. But thank you, Snowball. And welcome, Snowball, again. You've been coming a lot. I appreciate you. Stephen Engel is here. I'm going to call him Wawa. Stephen Wawa Engel, because if I was him, I'd be hitting Wawa every day. One day it might be a hoagie. The next day it might be an ooey gooey butter cake. Those are so good. Green Bean turned me on to those. If you haven't tried that, go into Wawa and look for an ooey gooey butter cake. Oh my God. And then the next day you can go in and get a cheesesteak. The only problem is there's no option to grill the onions. But they do chop the onions fine. And when they put it on that hot cheesesteak with the whiz, it seems to cook a little bit. So it's not like eating raw onions. So I liked it. They were good. But good stuff, good stuff. Steven Striker. Is that like from Airplane where then somebody punches hits some girl because they're saying Striker? Best Father's Day present. My brother was born on Father's Day. That's cool, man. And I like that you're saying Best Father's Day. Like you're talking about your brother in a positive way. That's really nice. It's nice when siblings get along and don't despise each other. It's really, really nice. Sometimes it takes till adulthood to appreciate your siblings. Fiji is on my list. Yeah, man, I have no problem with Fiji. I got to look where it is. Maybe I'm closer than New York now that I live in California. Maybe Fiji is like more obtainable. Is it Eastern Caribbean or is it more West? Anyway, you're putting yourself and everyone on that ship in jeopardy. What ship? What are you talking about? What ship? What's he? Is he talking about somebody else? I don't know. I'll take shuttle disasters for 100. You make a killer. Don't talk to me about you making a killer zucchini bread after we met up. That's what you did to me the last time. I was in Cary, North Carolina, went back to California. 4 days later, you start talking about the Pharaoh's Pizza Tavern. Now you're going to start talking about some killer zucchini bread you could have made and had prepared for me on our first meeting. Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again. Your wife makes banging zucchini bread. Well, maybe when I reach 1,000 subs, I'll give out my address and you could all send me zucchini bread and I'll do a zucchini bread eating contest. Like I'll do a tasting and I'll be the judge and I'll inspect the zucchini bread for moistness. We'll make rules, shipping rules. Everybody has to ship it overnight. Has to be the same level of freshness. No one's allowed to cheat and use any moisturizers or anything. Cellulite packaging only. Well, it'll be equal. My luck, I'll mix up the zucchini breads and we'll never really know who won. But pumpkin bread is the best kind of bread than banana. Well, that's all very similar to zucchini bread, my friends. There's really not that big of a difference. So you should try zucchini bread because it's more common to find in bakeries and stuff. Mr. Fuji, wrestler named after Mount Fuji in Japan. Oh, Mr. Fuji used to crack me up. And man, they were so racist back then. Like the announcers would be like, Mr. Fuji, very wealthy man, owns many a rice field. I mean, think about how racist that is because they're making it all up. He's a guy who travels around the country in a car, staying in cheap hotels and wrestling. Especially back then in the 1980s, okay? Those guys didn't do well. They were fighting for every penny. The guy was like 45, 50 years old, and he was still wrestling. It's like, wealthy man, owns many a rice field back in Japan. So racist. Not racist, but bias. I don't know what you want to call it, but it was ridiculous. But it was almost to a point where it was more comedy than anything. Dark, let's have a throwdown. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. Send that zucchini bread my way. Don't call me that. I don't go there laughing out loud. What are you, a Sheets guy? You like Sheets? You like Circle K? I mean, come on. Why don't you go there, man? It's good. Wawa's good. You don't like cheesesteak? They got a very decent cheesesteak. Yes, Airplane. I see. I knew the movies. I know all my movies. Hope everyone is doing great. What's up, Chiefs in the clutch? Very smart, wise young man. He's very smart. He knows his football. Good time to visit Fiji now. Good exchange rate now. US $1 to Fiji $2. But does that mean anything? Or like the prices for things the same? So is like a 2-liter bottle of like, oh, well, let me think of something I know the price of. It's like $3.99 for a bag of Doritos. Is it $3.99 for a bag of Doritos in Fuji? Because if it's true, then that's like it's really only $2 for a big family-sized bag of Doritos. So it all depends on the pricing there. Do things seem more expensive? What's a very standard item that's easy to price out? I don't know. It's getting weird these days. It's hard to price things out. Okay, McDonald's. That's a nice standard, right? McDonald's is a standard. What's McDonald's these days is about the cheapest thing. The Big Mac value meal is what? What, guys? $5.99? I think a Big Mac value meal is now. So how much is a Big Mac value meal in Fiji? If it's the similar, like $5.99, that's amazing because that really is like a 50% discount. I could just go there and eat McDonald's all day. They're doomed, but I leave the iron on. This is what you talk about when there's just no news. Well, the only news that there is this ridiculous rumor about the Jets trading for Terry McLaurin. That's about the only rumor that's out there. McDonald's is so expensive. Well, it got very expensive. McDonald's was always the cheap place to eat. And I do notice, but you know what's gotten more expensive than McDonald's? Freaking Burger King, dude. Go into a Burger King. It costs about $20 for lunch, at least if you eat the amount I eat. I'm not kidding. It's like $20 for lunch. It's crazy. You get a Whopper, a fries, and a drink. It's like $12 to $14. And I don't do that. I like to get like a Whopper, 2 Whoppers, or a Whopper and a double cheeseburger, and then like maybe a dessert item and a large Coke. I'm up to like $17, $18 at that point at Burger King. It's ridiculous. Oh, I love that. What's the sun? The sun is a large fireball. That's not important right now. Remember, I like on the airplanes when they're arguing over the directions, like take the red line to the smoking room section. No, you take the green line to the smoking. They start fighting with each other. It's pretty funny. No idea. I don't eat McDonald's. Okay. I only got Burger King once, but $20 ain't bad considering I work on Fire Island. So expensive. Oh, yeah. I've heard it's expensive there. Someone used to work at McDonald's and told me that the burgers are a powder that comes in and they add liquid to it. It turns into a burger. Oh, my God. You're killing me. Oh, my God. You're killing me. Oh, my God. Dude, you just ruined it for me. I've got to stop eating that crap, man. Oh, yeah. The red zone is for loading and unloading. You know, it's weird. I have no excuse to eat that stuff. We have In-N-Out Burger. Like, why am I going to McDonald's? We have an In-N-Out Burger. Fresh, real. Cheaper, by the way. The white zone is for loading and unloading. Oh, you guys are going to just do airplane? We just do the whole movie from the first line. Okay, so how many people heard about that trade rumor? Am I the only one that knows about that rumor? I'm doing a video on it, so I'm not going to give too much of my opinion. I can't, because then it ruins the whole video. Like, I want to release a video. The only reason it hasn't come out yet is I can't edit it because my wife is on the computer, the Apple that's for the editing. So, and we have two Macs, by the way. She just chooses to use the real one, the desktop, even though she could use the Mac Air and it wouldn't matter to her. But it's like this competition is like just grabbing the good computer. It's the good computer. But anyway, I'm not buying another desktop Mac. She has the Mac Air. She's going to use it, especially when she's doing an online class. So it makes no difference whatsoever. You didn't hear that rumor? Yeah, it's none of the normal rumor generators are saying it. I just saw a little bit on Twitter, but I don't, anyway, I'll talk about it. It's not a big deal. And they're saying like 1 of 5 team that's interested. So one of we ever won one of those. It doesn't even make sense, by the way. It's like I'm already giving away my video. It's like, why would we care? Obviously the trade of what we'd have to give up would be one of our current wide receivers. So you figure it out. It's like, Look at his numbers. Is it worth going crazy over? We have a good wide receiver room. So it's like, surely you're not kidding. I am not kidding. And please stop calling me Shirley. Heard nothing about that proposal. Okay. Wow. Okay. So a lot of people haven't heard about it. It looks like my video will probably get about 50 views in total. I thought it was this hot rumor because I heard about it. So I thought it was this big rumor going around. And I was like running to make a video about it. And it's probably going to be squashed by the time I get the video out. So what can you do? Anyway, I don't think I don't think the Jets are going to make trades. And if we did make a trade, I actually think it would be for defense. I think it would be like we make a big crazy deal, like, oh, big deal, and we bring in some like kick-ass linebacker or something. I could see that happening. I don't see us like the offense is pretty good, man. I don't see us giving up any kind of capital at this point. Like I don't see that. We're looking good, man. I like the way the offense looks, and it's like barely anyone on it costs us any money, which is really nice. So, you know, we're going back to McDonald's. I've just lost all appetite for McDonald's. Better to catch fresh fish. Oh my God. I'm imagining a guy right now in like holding a spear barefoot the way you're talking. Catch fish. I'd rather catch fish. Like, are you talking about just like you're a regular guy that goes fishing? Or are you talking about you literally the kind of guy that can go into the water and stab or pull out a fish or something? Because that's the stereotype that's created here in the States. You know, when you watch TV and stuff, that you guys somehow have this magic ability to catch fish with your bare hands. You can identify and not disguise the ingredients, GMOs, and Mac burgers, grilled tits. Oh my God. Yeah, man, I got to stop eating that shit. We got to just, you know. So here, this is a good question. Here we go. What's up, Chris Bradigan? I just want to say that, or Bradigan. I think I was saying it right now. Everyone got into my head. You made fun of me for how I was saying your name, Chris, and now it's in my head. And I'm like, is it Bradigan? Is it Bradigan? What do you mean? I can't even pronounce that name. And like, I don't even know when people are messing with me. But Yoy's fan, am I planning to go any games this season? Yes, I am. I'm planning. I don't know exactly. There's a chance. Strong possibility I go to the Seattle Seahawks game in Seattle because Sacramento to Seattle is an easy flight. We got Alaska Airlines that jumps right over there. We got Southwest, easy flight. I got a niece that lives in Kirkland, not far out of Seattle. I don't know how far from the stadium she is. My brother lives in the Portland area. And as you know, Lee has become and he was originally, and then when he moved to San Diego for all those years, he stopped being. But now he's back on the Jets train. He is a Jets fan. He has expressed interest in seeing the Jets. I don't think he even realizes that they're going to be in Seattle with an hour of his daughter's house. So I think that might be a great opportunity. And I even have somebody like my brother that would be willing to go with me. So I'm considering that game. And then there are some talks or some thoughts about going to New York, seeing some friends. I haven't been to New York since before the pandemic started. That's the longest I've ever been out of New York. I'm kind of jonesing to see some friends and do some New York things, just to feel the energy of Manhattan. It's been a while, man. So I definitely am going to catch a Jets game this year. It's going to happen. I'm going to see the Jets play this year for sure. And I will let everybody know when it happens, obviously. Let's see. Yeah, but is he that much of a step up from Davis? Like, look at the stats, man. I don't get it. Look at the stats. That's the thing. I don't understand. I know he's good, Terry, but where's the production? Like, where does the talent lead to the production? Because the production is about 150 yards better than Davis. And there's very little touchdowns in his production. I know Washington has a horrible offense, but it's not like our offense last year was that great either. So I don't know. I don't know if it's something we need to do, only because I look straight up, money not a factor, fine. But like, I have a feeling that whoever trades for Terry McLaurin is going to have to pay him a $25 to $30 million contract. See, so that's a problem. Johnny, what can you make out of this? Johnny G, by the way, I didn't say hello to you before, did I? A bird. You guys are still doing airplane? What is up, Cameron? You finally got here on time. Now that's time for to leave. Every time Cameron comes on, it's like typically the end of a show. So it's time to leave. Later, guys. Thanks for showing up. Nah. What's up, Cameron? How you doing, buddy? Oh, my God. Let's see. All I see is airplane quoting. Game versus Seattle will be awesome. Hope we crush them. I know. I don't want to get killed, though, man. I'm like, sometimes it's hard for me to shut up. I don't want to get killed. And like, if you guys see me on with Lee, it's not like Lee is good protection. It's not like Lee is going to save me if somebody jumps me. But there are a lot of times there are a lot of Jet fans at games, and they're New Yorkers. So even though we're outnumbered, if we band together, we might be okay. I mean, I might do okay hiding behind those Jet fans. Yeah, that's the one thing is I don't like the aggravation. So I typically will just go dressed in civilian clothes and just quietly cheer or quietly root for them and watch the game. I know that's kind of like Matthew Smith is probably throwing up at hearing that, but I just don't need the aggravation. I don't need to get into fights with people over a sport. I feel better just going to the MetLife and cheering. I'm definitely going to go to MetLife this year. I hear that even when they're winning, it's going to be easy to get tickets because people hate the traffic and driving there, and people just don't want to go anymore, because it's just such a pain in the neck. You are in the Washington, D.C. area. Most people here hate the team. Left and right. When I went to the Jets Skins game, 19, it was basically a Jets home game. I don't know if that. Oh no, 19. The time we played them before that, which I think was 2015 or 16. I think it was 2015 when Kirk Cousins was still on the team. I remember we beat them. I don't know how we did in 2019. I'm assuming we lost because I don't remember that we won a lot of games in 2019. Oh no, maybe we won like 7-8 games. I'm quiet. Well, you're nuts, dude. You're nuts. Y2K goes to freaking other stadiums and jumps up and down when the Mets score and everything. One day you're going to get killed. Some lunatic is going to see you jumping up and down, going nuts over the Mets winning and beating their team, and they're going to follow you out of that stadium, dude. Green Bean got jumped in Cleveland with the Browns. People get jumped at these games. Did you see the Ranger game, what they did to that Tampa Bay fan? The guy was just walking. I mean, I don't know what he was doing. They said he was like bragging or something. He just looked like he was smiling, and somebody literally knocked him out to the point where they had to call an ambulance. I don't need problems like that, man. Do not need it. Enough aggravation in my life. I don't need to get beat up. It's all I need. People sending me get well cards. The Chaos got beat up. The Chaos got rocked. Okay, I want the aggravation. I have 2 hammers on my fist. Yeah, you're a big, strong, tough kid. So I went through life. I'm a weak comedian type clown. Make the big guys like me by making them laugh, and then they protect me kind of guy. Don't get me wrong. I got the biggest mouth, and I'll wear my jersey anywhere if I have my friends with me. Like I have certain friends, like my friend Glenn, who lives a few blocks away from here from the Bronx, and he lives in Sacramento too. If I'm with him, like when we go to Oakland and watch Yankee games, I got a big mouth because I got Glenn and then our friend Mark, who's about 6'4" and 250. You know what I mean? When I have those guys around me, I don't shut up. But when I'm alone, I'm like, So, why haven't we signed any of the vets we brought in? I don't know. I think that it's a game. It's a staring contest. What is a game? Oh, sorry. It's more like a risk. It's a risk thing. So you have a guy like Quan Alexander or a guy like Reef Riley or a guy like Junigua. And what they're doing is they're gambling. They're gambling that Camp will start. Well, first they're gambling that JD will just give in. Like he'll just give in and sign him. Number 2, they're gambling that when camp starts, someone will get hurt or someone won't play well for a team because we're not the only team that's interested in them. Trust me. Some of these guys are decent players. There's definitely interested teams. but that there'll be an injury or someone won't be playing well, something will go wrong to bring up their value and the demand for their position. Now, the risk of that is that that doesn't happen. And now we have even more leverage on them because nobody is offering them anything better and nobody is signing them. And now camp has started and nobody wants them. And it makes them seem even less desirable. We don't know. I don't think JD's the type of guy that will lower the offer. Like, I can't see him saying, well, we'll give you $4 million if you sign now, but it's going to be 3.2 if it's the first one. Like, I don't see him being that kind of negotiator. I think he's just really patient. I think he just gives his value. Like, hey, Janigua, 5.5 million. Like, let's say, for example, and that's it. 5.5 million, 1 year guaranteed. And let's just pretend that's the offer. JG just says that's the value. I'm not budging. If you find something better, best of luck to you. If you're interested, we're here. And those players are trying to still do better. That's just my guess, by the way. That's not me thinking I know. That's my assumption. When I negotiate, I was in high tech sales. We had some pretty big deals. And that's how they went in negotiations. You know, my bosses would be like, are you going to close the deal before the end of the quarter? And it was a staring match. And the only leverage I had was to say, this is like the price I'm giving you is a 20% discount. And every time I sent a proposal to a customer, it always had an expiration date. And the expiration date was always before the end of my quarter. I needed some leverage. And what I would tell the customer is, I cannot give you this price again next quarter. Right now, my vice president of sales is highly motivated to close this deal so we do as well as we can this quarter. If we don't close this deal this quarter, he is not going to let me sell this product at this price next quarter. We're going to go back to our list price. And we had to do that. We had to stick to it. We couldn't get a reputation as someone that was just bluffing because, IT guys and managers and directors talk to each other. People switch companies. You can't get a reputation as someone who's going to cave. And you had to stick to that. But that was the only way to gain some emotional leverage because they knew that our quarter would end and they knew how important it was for us to make our number for the quarter. So anybody who's ever buying a car, you go on the last day of a quarter. So, like, for example, September 30th. Ahead of time, know what car you want. And you walk in there at September 30th at 3:00 in the afternoon. And you name your price. It's got to be reasonable. Find out what the blue book is, like what the invoice price is. You got to go a few hundred over invoice typically because there are some shipping fees. And you'll get the best possible price. I mean, just play hardball and know that you can always walk into a dealer and buy the car the next day, but they need the deal that day. Serious. I learned that through my own business, like emotional advantage. If you're going to buy a car, listen, do it at the end of the quarter if you can, if you have that flexibility. Jets whipped the Skins that day. Oh, yeah, good. We crushed them in 19, surprisingly. Okay. We don't need Terry M. I agree. We don't need him. I would take him if he was in an earlier part of his contract and we didn't have to pay him $30 million. I think he's better than Davis, but I don't think he's better than Davis enough to go from $12.5 million to, let's say, $28 million on the cap. I mean, that could be the money we used to pay George Fenn, right? So I wish I can go to the season opener. I wouldn't give a shit about the traffic. Yeah, well, one of the things you would do, Braden, if you did go, one of the ways you would do it is you'd go into New York City, right? Because you're coming from New Zealand, you're making the trip. You'd want to stay somewhere in Manhattan, and you'd go to 42nd Street, and you'd take the train because there's a train that goes to the stadium. That's what you'd do, Braden. So it wouldn't matter. Wouldn't matter, Mike. But the guys that live in Long Island, they grew up in the suburbs. They don't know about trains and things like that. And it would be very inconvenient also to go from Long Island into Manhattan to jump on a train. So for them, it's like a 3 to 4 hour drive, like going home with the traffic and everything. Well, I had the idea of we go as a big group. One day when I go to the Jets, I get as many of you as possible, right? Whoever's willing to travel to New York, whoever lives in New York, we go to the game, but we get a hotel room near the stadium. I don't know if there are any. I'm guessing there are. That there might be a hotel that we can get to easily. And then we have like a after game post party. Like we don't wreck the hotel room. We're all adults. We just hang out. And we wait for everything to clear out. And then we all just go home, or some people can crash in the hotel room. You know what I mean? But we just hang out for a few hours, ordering some pizza. So that was my kind of idea. The other thing is to have a post-game tailgate party. But I don't know when they kick you out of the parking lot. Like, I don't know if there's a point where they kick you out. So, like, in other words, I don't like to fight something that's horrible to fight. Like, I'm going to walk into a 4-hour or 3-hour delay of getting out of the stadium. I'd rather just walk around the parking lot, have a catch. I see people doing that all the time. Like, I'd rather outsmart it, you know, and figure something else out. I've always managed to do things like that. The one thing I don't want to do is ever count on. I never want to leave a game early to beat traffic. That's baloney. You're saying great stuff. It's great. And all I'm doing here is talking. Thank you. It would be nice to have Terry M, but we really don't need him right now. Yeah, I agree. We don't need him as far as an upgrade. Like, we don't need to give up capital or give up money. Like, that's my point. Because the production difference between Corey Davis and Terry McLaurin is just not big enough to justify that, you know, giving them an extra player or a draft pick and the money. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't, and it doesn't go along with anything JD has done. Like, it just contradicts the entire philosophy. That's what I was thinking. I thought there was a Sheridan in that area, but that was my idea anyway. Like, don't fight it. Let's just get a room. Let's just have a post party. Let's hang out, and then just get out of there later. So you're saying there's plenty of hotels there. Okay, cool. Okay, and post tailgate is key. You see, so I'm acting like I'm inventing things, and Kevin is saying, Jeremy, that already exists. So you see, but that makes sense. It makes sense that I would think of that, and somebody else had thought of that. Like, why fight the traffic? Just hang out and party. The only thing is you have to take a number 2. Are you the type of person who could take a number 2 in a stadium bathroom? That's the only challenge. By the way, happy belated Father's Day, brother. Thank you, man. I'm not a father of children, but I do have a dog, and my wife insists that I should be, like, she insists on wishing me a happy Father's Day because she says that's our baby, and she says that I'm a great father to him. So, so I'll take it. But I hope everybody had a happy Father's Day. I hope everybody is ready to have an amazing summer. Mine's technically started already as far as summer school. But yeah, wish the best for everybody. Jeremy is a lover, not a fighter, but don't get any ideas. I have a Miami fan that'll protect me. Grandizer. Now, trains nowadays, you take life in your hands and no laws enforcement. Oh, New York trains nowadays, you take your life in your own hands, no law enforcement in New York City. Yeah, I've heard things like that. I've been very lucky, by the way, when you see comments like this, like when I talk about my friends, I always have been lucky that way. Like, you know, like in high school and everything, I've always had those kind of friends where I was the jokester of the group, but my best friend owned a pizza place. And I used to ride and go on deliveries with all the delivery guys. So they were 3 or 4 years older. So they would always be like, how's school? And if anybody ever messes with you, let me know because I'll come and kill them. So that was always like kind of the attitude. And I also had some tough guys living on my block, some of the Italian guys that were like, hey, anybody ever mess with you, you let me know. You know, like that kind of thing. Somebody came on our block once with a car. They were driving down our block. We were playing football, and they were going down like 80 miles per hour. And this is a 100-yard block in a residential neighborhood. And this guy, Steve, this big, strong guy that was playing with us, he was doing, you know, he's designated quarterback because he was older than us. As the car went by and we all ran for our lives, he spit right into the driver. And the driver stops the car, gets out, and is holding a chain with a lock on the end. And he swings it. This guy, Steve, ducks right under it, tackles him, and starts choking him. And then Steve's father, this guy Hoodie, comes out. We love this guy. He comes out, grabs his son. He goes, get off him, rolls him off. But Dad, before he can say anything and finish, Hoodie jumps on the guy. And this guy, Hoodie's he's the father. And he, I'm not kidding, is 5'5" and weighs 110 pounds. I have no exaggeration. And he's choking the guy, and he goes, you pull a chain to my son. You pull a chain to my son. The guy was terrorized. We were just all watching. And like, what I just told you is just a typical day in Brooklyn. Typical day growing up in Brooklyn. But I had people like that protecting me my whole life. I've been very fortunate everywhere I go. I guess I'm just lovable. So when other people see somebody making a move on me, like to get to me, they just want to step in and say, well, that's a good dude, man. Why are you messing with that dude? I've always had that kind of luck. So I'm that guy. But I make up for it in the group. I'm the guy that makes everybody laugh. Right? So I'm the good time. When we're all hanging out, it's never boring because I'll get up and entertain if I have to. I'll start doing impersonations. It doesn't matter. I'll start singing like freaking the Rainbow Connection in Kermit's voice if I have to. So James says, yeah, I know what you're thinking. And your friends didn't kill you? Okay. Demand why she is acceptable for what we need. Davis doesn't demand wide receiver role. He's acceptable to what we need from him. I agree. I don't understand why anybody cares or is thinking about wide receiver right now. I really don't. We're set. We have the perfect situation. We have young guys who are learning, who are good and talented, who can make the plays. We're set to be a really effective running team. We don't need that kind of upgrade. We don't need to start locking down our cap flexibility. It doesn't make sense. If we're going to lock down cap flexibility, let's extend Fant. Let's find a better linebacker. Let's do something that really does benefit the team. There we go right there. We're OL and defense. JD is building a championship. I agree, man. We are doing it the right way. And just making a trade like that and suddenly paying a wide receiver like $16 million more than we're paying Corey Davis, it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. It seems like we're just going back to the way that doesn't work. 3 more likes to 20 likes. Please help Jeremy. Yeah, man, like it. Like the video, unless you hate it. Unless you don't like it, I mean. But, when you like things, it really helps. It helps get more people in and everything. But my videos, if you watch my videos, if you like it, I'm not telling you to like something you don't like. That's stupid. But if you watch one of my videos and you do enjoy it, that's where I really need you to hit the like button. Because not only does it help the algorithm and maybe get more people to watch it, but if I make a certain video, I could look at my videos, right? I could go through my library of videos. I could look at like the last 6 short videos I made. And if I see that one has a much higher percentage of likes to views, I look at what I did for that video. Like it makes me think, what did I do? What was I talking about? What was my topic? Was it about a rumor? Was it about an opinion? What was my thumbnail? What did that look like? I look at all of that stuff. So it really helps me to hit that like button because I need to know what you guys like watching. So Mets number 2 in the country right now still. Yeah, 6-0 today, right? It's a good game. The Yankees are on fire. Everything's going really well. Subway Series would be awesome. Terry would come in and demand the ball, and it would take away from Wilson and Moore, believe it or not. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it also, because some people were like, I've heard all kinds of things like Corey Davis and Mims. It's like, let's make sure we have nobody over 6 feet tall. So, it's just crazy. I don't know. It's not my thing, man. It's not my thing. I like to have cap flexibility. I'd like to be in a position every year where we could build the way we're building. Like we have a really good team. Maybe with this cap flexibility, we could bring in some depth at offensive line. Maybe we bring in some depth defensively, right? We can make these little moves, little 1-year deal type moves, but every year we have that flexibility. So if the cap goes up, great. That means we could bring in another great player. But wouldn't it be great to always have that flexibility to make the key moves, to really wait for those moments where it matters the most, than to just upgrade wide receiver a little bit? Oh, now instead of Corey Davis, we have Terry McLaurin. Look at the numbers. It's not like Tyreek Hill. It's not like Metcalf. Like you can't blow it out of proportion. He's not those guys. Not everybody. It's like, according to Jet fans, every other wide receiver on every team is a top 10 wide receiver. Every one of them. Like you got to have A.B. Brown. Right? Got to have Brown. Got to have A. Brown. Got to have him. Got to have Metcalf. Got to have Tyreek Hill. Got to have Amari Cooper. Every wide receiver is a top 10 receiver that we have to have. Every wide receiver that becomes available. It's crazy. Look at the numbers. Look at the production. The production doesn't justify it. It just doesn't. It's not true. It's like there are special players. I know that he has a lot of talent and people really like him, but his production is not there. I you know what I mean? It's like, and I don't know if it would be for a team like ours, a team that we're going to be running the ball first. That's what our scheme is. We're built on our home. We're built on the concept of running the ball. And then there's already so many mouths to feed. So what's Terry's production going to be that Corey's wouldn't be? You need explosion and speed, someone who could take the top off. You got Garrett Wilson and Elijah Moore. And what, Berrios isn't fast? Like, we got speed. We got it. We have it. We could take the top off of a defense if we need to. We got guys who can run. We got guys who can create separation. We don't need to lock down another 15, 16 million in cap. We don't need to. We need that money. We got to re-sign Fant. Very nervous about that. Like, we lose Fant after next year. If we can't re-sign them, we're in trouble. We don't even have offensive depth. Now we're going to lose one of our starters. Tell you just can't throw the money around and put yourself in those situations. Pretty certain that the season's end will be mock drafting Q Williams replacement. You're not high on Q Williams, huh? Look, it's a big year for him. He's got to step up and I agree with the philosophy. I don't think you should pay based on when he was drafted. You have to base it on his performance. So if and I mean, he's not bad. But right now, he's not a top guy. Like, if he plays the way he did last year and wants $20 million because he was the number, because he was a high draft pick, because he was a top 5 draft pick or what have you, like, my answer is no. Like, I'll be a big thing about it. Like, there's no way we should do that. You pay a guy for his production, not for when he was drafted. I don't care when he was drafted. Right now, he is a good player. He is not an elite, break the bank, pay him $20 million plus a year player. He's not. He clearly isn't. Look, we're going to have some holes to fill next year because if CJ Mosley does not restructure his contract, he's gone. He's gone. So there's going to be a linebacker issue. If Q Williams agent, if they're going to come out there and say they want $20 million a year, Joe Douglas is not going to do it unless he has an amazing year, breakout year, which he might. Carl Lawson comes back strong. You got Jacob Martin and Jermaine Johnson. You get some really good play out of them. You got JFM in the middle playing really well next to him. Like, you get some of those things happening, that might open it up for Q Williams. But if it doesn't, there's no more excuses. I don't want to hear, he doesn't have the right players around him. Like, there's no excuses. He has to open it up if he wants to be paid top dollar. It's just as simple as that. I mean, because really in our system, we can replace him if we have to. We really could. If you've seen Top Gun Maverick yet, the movie was a banger. I have not seen it yet. So, and I'm someone who watched Top Gun as a kid. I used to sing the song, saw a girl I liked. I'd be like, baby, baby, I'll get down on my knees for you. She'd look at me and say, get away, pest. I don't care what the Yankees do. Not in the Mets league. Let's just have a Subway Series. That's what I want. Subway Series. Oh, that was for John Nolte. I like that. I'm so far behind. That's what happens, guys. You have to like, we're gonna have to start a thing on these chats where you say like what you're referring to. Yeah, Terry would come in, demand the ball, more Wilson. Yeah, break the chemistry. What chemistry? We don't have chemistry. I don't know. I like what we're building. Yeah, you've talked about that, Dakota. Red Sox fan, huh? Don't talk to my wife right now. She doesn't want to hear that. It was a good father. My wife hasn't been a fan long enough to hate the Red Sox. She doesn't know from that. She just roots for the Yankees, whoever they're playing. and I sit there and like have to argue that I get to turn on the Met game on sometimes. Oh, your daughter lives out of the state. That sucks. That sucks. I kind of did that to my parents too by moving to California, you know. But silly fun guy is in the house. Did you see the Jake Ellenwood predicted a 35 touchdown, 5 rushing, 14 interceptions for Zach Wilson? Thoughts? I think that would be great. I would take that. Let's forget about the 5 rushing for a second and say 30 passing, 14 picks. Little higher than I want on the picks, but I'll take it. I'll take that deal, especially if he goes over 4,000 yards, which it sounds like he would if he threw 30 touchdowns. I think I'd take that deal. What do you think, guys, in the chat? It's a little high on the picks, and I say that only because when we drafted him, I thought we were drafting a guy who's really good at protecting the ball, and a lot of his interceptions last year came within a few games. It was all like clumped together. So I'm hoping for lower on the picks. I really want to go under 10. Like more 8 or 9, but I think like right now where we are sitting today, it's kind of silly if somebody offered this as a deal and a guarantee. It's hard to turn it down because the most important thing is that we have our quarterback of the future. And I think if he had this second year, if he scored 35 touchdowns, 30 in the air, 5 rushing with 14 picks, I think that's enough evidence that we have our guy. Or it's a very good step in the direction of feeling that way. So it would be hard to turn a deal like that down, but it would surprise me. Like the picks would be a little bit higher than I'd like. That would bother me a little bit. But again, it all depends on how it happens too. Because sometimes you pick, 14, 4 of those picks could be end of the game Hail Marys. You're right. I mean, so you really got to consider how, the nature of those interceptions. Hall is going to run 1,000 yards with MC at 600. I'm hoping for better. I'm hoping that if it's 1,000, that MC will be more like 800-900, or that he'll be at like 1,200, and then maybe he'll be at 600-700 Hall. But anyway, maybe I'm being way too greedy, but I can't help it, man. I've waited a long time. I want to have a great team with stars. Fem played way above his normal numbers last year. I hope he does it again. Me too. Me too. I'm worried about it. I think that's why we're not extending him right away. I think that's why we're willing to wait. We also have to see if he could do it at right tackle in case Becton wins the left tackle job. So, good night, Steve. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for hanging out. Sounds like we should draft Will Anderson. I hope we're not in the position to draft Will Anderson. That would mean we had a really bad year. So, I think that's the number 1 pick in the draft. See, everyone's saying goodbye to Steven. Here we go. No more questions. Okay. Q is the anchor. Q is the anchor of defense. He's a psychologist. You got to think we haven't had enough help on our defensive line for him to flourish. Capable of doing. He will be fine. I promise. I am not anti Q Williams at all. At all. I am rooting for him, just like Salah said. I'm rooting for him to make as much money as possible. Because whatever that means, the more money he makes that we have to pay him, the more he performed, and that's what we want. I want him to get, I don't know, sacks. I mean, I'm more important than sacks. I want him to be a main piece that's going to clog up that the run game, cause a lot of disruption. A lot of pressures and hits, maybe cause some turnovers. What I like about Quinnen Williams is his timeliness is very good. If you watch last year, a lot of his sacks and his big plays came in very big moments, and I really do like that about him. He's not a guy who disappears when it's on the line. So that's a good thing. The Jets are coming for the future, though. Yeah, but it's just, but you never know when the jump's going to happen. There's a lot of talent. If the young guys come in fast, we might get a lot more wins right away than we think we're going to get. But at the same time, it's understandable with all that talent why we would only get 8 or 9 wins. Like why we're not predicting more, because they're young, and as an organization, we haven't even learned how to win yet. So. The laws of you're doing my cousin Vinny. Is this a magic grit? Are you telling me that in your kitchen, grits cook faster than any other kitchen? I don't get the words right, but I remember the emotion and the sentiment. Bart Scott, can't wait. I am pulling for Q Williams, but so I see slightly above average at best. Yeah, Salty, no matter how salty you are, the one thing I know about you is you're always rooting for the players, right? You could be down on a player. You could predict that the player's no good. But if the player is wearing the Jets uniform and the game starts, you're rooting for the player. If the player makes a great play, you're happy. You want to be wrong, just like I want to be wrong. When I'm down on a player and I don't think a Jet is very good, and then they turn out to be really good, I'm really happy to be wrong. It's a great thing. It's to say, yes, I'm so glad I was wrong, and this player is good and helping our team win. So I know where you're coming from. I know you predicted a sweep of the Patriots. It's a big leap for me to believe that, right? That we're going to just go from being swept by them and barely competitive to beating them in both games. I think we're going to split. I would love it if we swept, but I think we're going to split. I think it's Miami that we have a chance to sweep, not because Miami's not going to be good. I just think there's something about the Miami Jets rivalry, and I think that that's going to be the team that we pick on first to make our move. But I still think Miami's going to end up, even if we sweep them, I don't think it's because they're going to be horrible or bad. Like, I still think they're going to get, I think they might even end up with a better record than us. I don't know. It's funny. Miami's going to be very dangerous, by the way. I know that right now Buffalo's the team, but do not sleep on Miami. They are going to be very, very dangerous. So if Tua works out, because everyone's so convinced he's not, there's no evidence that there's no chance that Tua is going to end up being fine for them, especially in that system. If Tua was to work out for the Miami Dolphins, they have a very good team and a ton of draft capital. I am very nervous about that. If Tua doesn't work out, they have a ton of draft capital. Guess what they can do with that draft capital? They can get themselves a very good young quarterback. So do not sleep on the Miami Dolphins in the future. This is the year, though. This is our chance to sweep them because they're learning this new system, and we all know how hard it is and like how it may be chaotic. They might struggle. We might be able to take advantage of it, but just understand that the Dolphins are no joke. They're going to be very challenging in the future for sure. I believe that. Is this a West Side Story channel? When you're a Jet all the way. Got my tickets for the Miami game. Anyone else going? Grandizer, are you going? I don't know if he's here still, but he might be going. But he'll be rooting for the Dolphins, so don't look to him for a cheering buddy. You will not find it in him. Here we go. If the Jets do sweep the Pats, you will have to say a Rams fan had more faith in that happening than you did. I will, but I will say this. Last year in the fourth quarter of that Super Bowl, I don't know if you remember on Peo's channel, there were people saying, we lost, we lost, we blew it, we did this. And I was in that channel. I don't know if you remember, Silly Fun Guy. I was in there. You go back, rewatch the Super Bowl party for Peo, and rewatch the fourth quarter in the chat. And look at the one person who was saying they're fine. They're fine. They're fine. Don't panic. They're fine. Look at the one person who was doing that. It was probably my name at the time was NFL Chaos with Jeremy. But I was in the chat doing that. So I could tell every Rams fan from Peo's watch party that I had more faith in the Rams winning the Super Bowl than they did. So you could have that bragging right over me. I hope to God you do. I would love it so much if we swept the Patriots. It's hard to even measure with words how excited I would be. Yeah, it's been 3 seasons, and Tua is finally now supposed to develop. Well, it hasn't really been. It's been 3. I mean, he didn't get that much of a chance his first season, and I don't think he played that badly his second season. Like, I mean, look, I'm not a Tua fan. I'm just saying, I don't think he played that badly. He's played better than Daniel Jones, didn't he? I mean, Jones got hurt, and people are still putting the question mark on Jones. I'm not saying he's going to develop. I'm saying I don't know that he's bad. I don't know why you're saying he's bad. I mean, he's not going to be a deep threat passer. He's not going to be a John Elway type guy or Peyton. He's not going to have like the rocket arm. He's not a Drew Bledsoe. He's not a Jeff George. He's not a big arm quarterback, maybe. But there's been quarterbacks in this league that have not had strong arms. Joe Montana, especially for the last bunch of years of his career, was like a cripple. And he was still playing great because it was in his brain. He had no arm left, like as far as a strong arm. So, and Tom Brady, most of his passes, he dinked and dunked his whole career. So I'm not comparing him to Brady and saying Tua is Brady. I'm just saying there's different ways to be good and effective. Somehow, for a 7-game run last year, Tua was pretty good. And I know he was limited, but if you build the right offense around him, it was working. They beat 7 teams with it. I don't know why I'm sitting here going on a rampage defending Tua, but I just think that we have to be like reasonable. If we're going to sit there and make, say, give our quarterbacks a chance to develop, it's like give Tua a chance to develop, And if he doesn't, it doesn't change the fact that the Dolphins have crazy draft capital and a really good team. You can't deny that. They have a lot of good players. They're very dangerous. And if Tua is not the right guy, they have the draft capital. Next year's draft is going to be very rich in quarterbacks. There's going to be a lot of good guys coming out. So we must be wary of them. And they've been, and they are annoying if you're a Jets fan because they've annoyed us our whole freaking lives. They've been a thorn in our side forever. And I don't expect that to change. But I'm not worried about the other teams that much. Like, that's not going to be my focus. Like, I think what we need to focus on is just producing a champion. Let's just watch Joe Douglas and root for him to do what he's doing and just build a team that's so good it doesn't matter. Let the teams in our division be good. It doesn't matter. I don't want to think about other teams. I want to get so good it doesn't matter. So if Zach Wilson develops and he's great and is a very good quarterback or a great quarterback, whatever he ends up being, and we keep putting guys like Sauce Gardner and Garrett Wilson and Jermaine, and we keep having these great drafts and adding on these great players and getting guys like Whitehead at good value and Reed at good value, if Joe Douglas can keep doing things like that, let's just build a dominating team. Let's build a team that doesn't worry about the other teams. Let's build a team that's so good it doesn't matter because we're going to come out and we're going to beat them. And I'm like, we're on the way to doing that. I really believe it. That's the best when you don't have to worry about the other team. You don't have to think about the other team. You just come out and you win because you got a great team. That's what the Rams do. The Rams aren't worried. How good is this team? How good? Oh, no, they added that player. Oh, no. The Rams focused on them. They added the talent they needed. And now they're holding up the Lombardi trophy, right? They have it. Let's do what the Rams did. Let's build a team and just win and not think about how good other teams are. Not worry about it. So, whether they have a good team or a bad team. But I think, I love this Rams fan because this Rams fan has seen a team get built. He's seen a team become a contender under a great coach and a system that developed a great team. And then after they built the core, then they went out and got the icing on the cake. Everybody says, well, the Rams went out and got a ton of free agents. They didn't do it organically. Baloney. The Rams have more guys on their team that came from their drafts than any other team in the NFL, I think I heard. Or they're one of the leaders in that. It's baloney. The Rams built their team in the draft. They built their team through years of drafting. Now they gave up a lot of their high draft picks. But guess what? A lot of their good, solid players weren't early round draft picks. Go look it up. They built through the draft. Then they added on Beckham or Odell. Then they added on Van Miller. When they were right there on the cusp and they wanted that extra little push to win a Super Bowl. That's how I want to do it. That's when we make a big move, a big trade. That's when we give up some future capital. When we're right there, when it gives us a chance to win a Super Bowl, then we do it. We don't do it now. Now's not the time to lock into $30 million a year on a player. Now's not the time to give up young players. for a play. We don't need the icing on the cake now. We were 4-13. We're not going to just. We shouldn't go all out and sacrifice everything to win a Super Bowl this year. We should hope for a lot of wins this year, even a Super Bowl, but we should do it organically. And if we miss and we win 8-9 games and we have a great step up, then we make the team even better the next year. That's how you do it. That's how you sustain greatness for a long time. You stay on plan. You stay on course. You don't jump shit, and start panicking and just giving everything away for one great player or two great players. We saw that in 2015. It doesn't work. Doesn't work. Get it to your heads. 41 years of watching the Jets. It doesn't work. Since free agency started, I watched us try to do it. Big splashes, signed big names, and it got us nothing. It's time we start developing our own stars. Gitmo Bob is the smartest thing he says, and he says it all the time. It's time we develop our own stars. And stop thinking about signing them and taking them from other places, and stop all this nonsense. And it's time to develop. We pick Garrett Wilson. Let's develop him into a star. Sauce Gardner. Let's develop him into a star. Let's let these guys be stars. And then the core of your team, the strong players, the good players, Whitehead. Bargain. We didn't pay tons of money for him. We didn't pay $20 million a year for him. Right? Reed. We didn't pay tons of money for him. Nick Fant right now, like George Fant, I mean. His contract is good. Like that we got him. And if he plays good for another year, what a great signing that was. Those are the kind of deals you want to make. Corey Davis. If he comes back and has a really good year now, productive year, $12.5 million. Great deal for a wide receiver that's productive. Why would we give that up? If we want to pay $30 million for a wide receiver, we could pay $30 million for a wide receiver. Why do we have to trade for it and give away value? Wait for free agency and just pay the $30 million. I don't understand why so many fans want to give away draft equity or players and talent and pay the $30 million. Wait for 30, win 8-9 games, show the league that we're a good team that you want to be part of, that we're a team that's on the cusp of being great, attract some better players, and one day we'll offer the $30 million for that final wide receiver or that final star linebacker, whatever it is that we need to get over the top and win a Super Bowl. That's how it's done. Damn right they're great. Is that a rant? Did I just go on a rant? Yeah, you got to put – everyone's got to have the talent around them. Look, the Tua question is much closer to being answered than the Zach question. Like, this is the year for Tua. Like, we're going to – like, every Miami fan and Jeff, we're going to know who Tua is by the end of this year. He's going to be playing the future system. We're going to see if he's able to learn it, see if he's able to execute it. Miami's going to know. And at the end of the year, they're going to know what they're going to do. Are we going to draft someone new, or are we going to go with them? And that's that. So there's no point in even arguing about it. Everybody will know. Yeah, we're going to be a good team now. We're becoming a good team, and then we're going to become a great team. And we're not going to become a great team because of other guys that we're going to add. We're going to become a great team because the players we have are so darn young, and they're only going to get better. AVT is going to get better. Gardner will get better. Zach Wilson's going to get better. Garrett Wilson's going to get better. Like whatever they are this year, Breece Hall, whatever they are this year, they're going to get better. Because you could look at the stats of almost any player, with some exceptions. It's not guaranteed every time. But for the most part, players get much better from year one, then year two, then year three is when they usually start to hit those prime of their career numbers. So the bulk of our young players and the core of this team, half of them are, a big portion of them are only going into their second year, and a big portion of them are now coming into their rookie year, and a couple are going into their third year. And then we got a lot of veterans, some key veterans that are good, solid guys. So if we're really good this year, think of what that means, because a lot of these players are going to get better. We don't have to do anything. They're just going to be better. We don't have to go out and pay someone else or trade them or get better players to become better. It's going to happen because the guys that made us good have nothing but this kind of thing. They're going to go up. So that's super exciting. That's why I think that Elijah Moore is going to have a nice breakout season. Year 2, baby. Those are definitely the names of quarterbacks. Oh. Okay. Miami got better. They do. They got much. They made great upgrades on their offensive line. They definitely made good. I mean, look, they got a great tackle. Signed a really good tackle. That's key. They added another guy too. So they added that. They got great wide receivers. I wouldn't look, the head coach, we don't know, right? Because the head coach is he, I don't know if he's better than or smarter than LaFleur, right? We don't know that because Saleh didn't bring him, he brought LaFleur. So we don't know 100% because remember, don't jinx yourself, Grandizer, because we called Adam Gase a genius and a whiz, and he was Adam Gase. But you do have a coach that I think even Jet fans will agree has potential to be a very good coach. Wilson is our savior as well as the entire coaching staff. Just the professionalism, Dakota? The professionalism of our coaching staff. Like the legitimacy of Joe Douglas and Rex, the assistant, and just it's just a real organization now with professionals. Really makes you believe. Really does. All we got to do now is win. And make sure that we were right about these picks. But the professionalism is there. And that's exciting. If I could steal one player from another team, who would it be? I might steal Darnold from you guys. Isn't he the best? He's probably the best defensive player in the game. But there's also Micah Parsons, which I don't think would hurt the Jets. And I don't want to hear no crap that Micah Parsons is not a good scheme fit. Like Micah Parsons, man, can you imagine if we got him on the Jets? He's only going into his second year. He was so good his rookie year. That would be amazing. The only problem with Darnold, your guy, Aaron, is that I'm not sure how old he is. And we're pretty good on the inside of the line. You know what I mean? We're pretty good there. So I don't know, even though he might be the best defensive player, I don't know if he has the biggest impact on the team. So defensively, I think Micah Parsons going from where we are at linebacker is just a bigger jump. So I think I would have to say Parsons. I mean, not including quarterback, because I know people say, well, why don't you just take, Aaron Rodgers? But I don't want to give I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in Zach Wilson and his future. So I don't know. I think Micah Parsons might be the right pick. The right guy to steal for us, just because of that's where one of our weak spots, one of our concerns is linebacker. Parsons would still have 4 years left on his rookie contract. He's super young. So it just gives us this amazing stud linebacker. And it would be just a big difference maker for the Jets, and we'd have him for a long time. So yeah, I think I would have to say Micah Parsons. So I think that makes sense. Most people are agreeing with me. That's rare. So, Allen. Oh, Josh Allen. He's elite and scary. Yeah. I mean, look. I mean, that could just make me, if I had hair, rip my hair out. That question, if I had to consider quarterback. Like, do we steal a quarterback? If that would be that to the player we steal. It's just hard for me emotionally. I love Zach Wilson. I already bought his jersey. Come on, man. For once in my life, I want to be right about a jersey that I buy. Although I do have an Elijah Moore jersey, so there's hope in that jersey as well. And the Corbett jersey was a great purchase because when I bought it, that was when he was Corbett. There was no way to know at the time while he was playing that it was going to be a timeless jersey that forever people would respect and love. And when they see number 80, Wayne Corbett. Like I got the jersey before that happened when he made the team and started to do good. I said, I love this guy. And I bought his jersey. So I'm really happy. That was a great, great grab by me, because now I have it for years. My wife wants to know how you wash it. She goes, how do you wash a jersey? I said, I don't know. She goes, that means you're telling me you've never washed your jersey? And I'm like, I don't think I've washed my jersey. I don't think I've ever washed a jersey. I wear it over shirts. I don't think I've ever washed a jersey. Maybe I brought it to the dry cleaners. What do you do, guys? How do you clean a jersey? I don't know if I've ever washed my jersey. I've had that Corbett jersey for so long, and I don't know if I've ever washed it. I mean, I barely wear it. I put it on when the game's on, over a shirt. Then I take it off after the game because I'm a very what do they call that? Sensory guy. It's like I don't like the feel of a lot of material on me. I'm a t-shirt guy even in the winter. You know, it's like I'll go to a place, it could be 0 degrees in New York. I get inside, I take all the layers off to a t-shirt. So I don't know. You wash your jerseys in cold. Okay. No dryer, right? You just hang dry them? That's what would scare me, the dryer. Like, wouldn't that make that would melt the numbers or something? I don't know. We'll see how he does with no double. Yeah, but I think it's too late, Dark. I think he already developed who he is. Like I think it's like those early years. You know, you have to have the coach early on, and once you have the coach early on, I think you're good. What's up, Eminon? By the way, I didn't even say hello to you. So, why all the Rams stuck on Jets chaos? We have a Rams fan in here, and I did a Rams show yesterday for a Rams content provider. And sometimes we talk about other teams that, you know, you got to look at other teams as models, you know, like how did they build? How did they win? Are we doing some of the things that they've done? You know, so it's okay to talk about other teams sometimes. You know, when you're talking about strategy and like what we need to do to win, what worked for other teams. I talk about Pittsburgh all the time, Baltimore. I talk about Green Bay, teams like that all the time because they're good models of how to build and sustain a winning team that's competitive year after year. Imagine how Green Bay, it's a very simple answer. You go from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers. Jeremy, can you imagine had you bought one of the Sack Exchange jerseys back then? Yeah, I was just a baby though, man. I was 10, 11 years old. And my parents were not the kind of people that were going to spend that kind of money. They would have got me a Jet shirt. They're not getting me no jersey. I didn't get a jersey until I was old enough to buy a jersey. So my parents did not have a lot of money when we were younger kids. My dad got more successful as I got older. But back then, he didn't have the money to do that. He was raising 3 kids and, you know, it was like the typical Brooklyn life, you know. And Herbert also having a better receiving core than Allen does, and Josh still finds ways to win. Yeah, well, look, Josh Allen is an elite player, man. There's no question about it. It's like if someone told me right now Zach Wilson's going to become like Josh Allen, that'd be a celebration, man. I'll run to the bank. Take that and lock it in. So Quincy Williams, Housen, and CJ Rose is running through the drills today. All 3 look like they are ready for the season. Well, it's good to hear good things about Nasruddin. It is. I like Quincy Williams. I do believe in him. I think there's potential. I think he can end up being a very good linebacker for us. I think that people are underestimating how he played considering there was no camp. And that a lot of the mistakes he made were fixable. They were coachable, learn the system type of things that are fixable. So I'll say it right now. I believe in Quincy Williams. Did I say Adams? I do it every time. Nasruddin, the only thing I worry about, like, why couldn't he even make it onto the field last year, except for special teams? Is that normal to not play at all? And then all of a sudden he's going to play year 2 and be good? I mean, maybe he needed to put the weight on. I don't know. So, but he did get hurt, right? Is that why he didn't come in for Sherwood? I don't know. I like him from college. I do. I like him a lot from college. So fingers crossed. You know, I'm rooting for every Jet. If you're wearing a Jet uniform, I'm rooting for you. So I'm just worried about the linebacker position. I hope that I'm wrong. I hope it's like the last year with the cornerbacks. I hope it ends up being a strength and we didn't even see it. Not that the cornerbacks were a strength, but they certainly weren't the weakness of the team. Okay. Hey, we'll see you Wednesday. 2 days, man. 48 hours. We'll see you in 48 hours when we do our show. Iowa Jets fan, what are you talking about? Have a wonderful evening. He's being a nice guy now. Look at that. He's so nice to Y2K. He sends him wine. He's so nice to him. He got so mean to me. Jets fans united. Says Quincy knew what he did wrong. Yeah, which is great. Awareness, man. Self-awareness. I like Quincy, man. I like Quincy. I think that if he learns that system really well and he cuts down on the mistakes, he could be very good. I'm not buying into the whole I'm going to be a Pro Bowler thing. Great. I'm glad you're confident, man. I don't need that. I just need you to be if you're a really good linebacker, I'm fine with that. You don't need to be a Pro Bowler. But if you are, great. Maybe that means we win 10 games if Quincy Williams ends up being a Pro Bowler. What's up, Buffalo Jet fan? Kevin, what's going on? He's going to the opener. I'm still working on it. That's right. There's a chance I haven't given up 100%. I'm going to the opener. It's just that's a better chance I go to the Seattle game, but I'm not giving up on the opener. It's the teacher in me that you say that every time, and it's true. That's your new thing. Instead of saying that's your code word to let me know it's you, if to prove it's you. It used to be, hey, you offended him just a little bit there. You were a little out of line. So, Buffalo Jets fan in the house, guys. My wife is gonna kill me. I gotta start making her dinner. This was supposed to be me jumping on for a half an hour, and I see it's an hour and 20 minutes. Can't help myself, man. Can't help it. Maybe Buffalo will go on. Buffalo, all these people want to talk Jets. Maybe you can jump on. Give them a room to chat in. Buffalo's not like that. He's not the kind of guy that's just going to jump on and start doing a live show. You know? He's the kind of guy that will give you plenty of videos every day. Like, you're never going to have to go without him. There's always a video to watch, thanks to Buffalo. And Chris Bradigan is a smart man. Buffalo is the man. Wait till you see us collaborate this season, Chris. How sweet is that going to be? When you see me and Buffalo and some other Jets guys doing post-game shows, how awesome is that going to be? Getting all of our reactions, that's when you're really going to see the chaos. It's going to be a great post-game show on Buffalo's channel. I can't wait. Can't wait. It's going to be so good, but it's not going to be week 1. It's going to start week 2. So you're telling me to stay on. I can't stay on, man. I got to cook my wife's dinner. You see how often she brings me dinner, man. This is my night. I'm supposed to do it. She's stuck in a class. She's going to be hungry. She's probably out of class. I'm probably already in trouble. So let me see. Well, no text yet. So once you go live, Buffalo Chaos. Laughing at Buffalo Chaos. That's what we can call it. We can call it Buffalo Chaos with Tigo. Just order your wife a sandwich or something. Nah, I got this pizza like that already, like set to cook for her. Gluten-free. So sandwiches aren't good when you have to get gluten-free bread. No text. Stay on. No. Oh, my God. See, I was right. I said everybody needs somebody to be on right now. Nobody's on. People need somebody to be on. I was so right. Everybody's like, don't go. Damn it, Jeremy. You said it wrong again. I said it's amazing. And it's not on purpose. Oh, your name? Chris Bradigan. It can't be Bradigan. It's Chris Bradigan, right? Oh, there once was a man named Chris Bradigan. There once was a man Chris Bradigan. There's no way it's Bradigan. Let me think. Chicago accent. Hey, I'm Chris Bradigan. Nah. How do Midwestern people talk? Chris Bradigan. I don't know. Now I'm talking like Iowa. It's like, I don't know. Let us wrap then. Even Iowa's into this. There's nothing to do out there. No meat on a stick tonight, huh? Order out. What's good on a Monday night? You know, if I was to order out, what could I order her? Get coming over here that she'll like and not like kill me. I mean, I could do a gluten-free pizza, but like where? We did that the other night. I'm just gonna tell her sorry I forgot, and she'll throw it in the oven. What do you think, Jeremy? Where do you think our receiving court ranks amongst? Ranks among the best in the AFC. Well, I think we have to prove it. I think there's a chance that we're better than teams that I can't say we're better than now. Like, we can't say that we have a better receiving corps than Miami. We just can't. I mean, Tyreek Hill just has accomplished too much. Chris Waddle already broke out and looked really good. It's hard to say that we're better than Buffalo because of Diggs. You know, do I think by the end of the season we might have an argument for these things? Yes. I think it just has to happen. Elijah Moore has to break out like we want him to. We think he can, but it actually has to happen. And I believe he's going to break out. I really believe it, but he has to do it. There's a difference between believing someone will do something and having the actual evidence and the actual reality of them doing it. I think once Elijah Moore breaks out, 1,200 yards, 8, 10 touchdowns, then all of a sudden we have an argument, because now we can say we have this 1,000-yard plus receiver plus whatever Corey Davis does, Berrios and Garrett Wilson, of course. And if Garrett Wilson has some explosive plays, we can start making an argument that maybe not the best right now at the moment, but the most desirable receiving corps, because everyone's going to know, wow, Elijah and Garrett Wilson, oh my God, that's going to be the best duo in the NFL, or not best in the NFL, but maybe like up there. So it's hard right now. But I feel really good about where we are with our receivers. And I think that we're going to prove we're much better than people think we are. Or you know what I mean? Like, I think that we're going to go up the ranks. But I think that before we talk about that, we should let it happen. Because, what if Elijah Moore keeps getting banged up and people say, well, he's just an injury-prone guy? And what if Corey Davis keeps dropping passes? And what if Garrett Wilson doesn't do much because he's a rookie? Then all of a sudden we look stupid. So, Irish, Bradigan, in Chris Bradigan, in for Ireland. Am I saying it right? Bradigan. It wouldn't be Bradigan, would it? Well, maybe it would. That did sound very Irish. Bradigan. I'm Irish. Bradigan. I'm Chris Bradigan. So I guess it could be Bradigan. So, okay. So is it Bradigan? So type in B-R-A-Y if it's Bradigan. Bray. If it's Bradigan, type in B-R-A-D for Brad. Okay, so you're going to tell me right now, Y is for Bradigan, Brad is for Bradigan. Okay, we're going to solve this right now. Oh, yeah, serious football questions. We'll keep them on longer. Remember for Green Bean when you wouldn't let us go? You kept doing like the super chats? That was the best. And Green Bean really wanted to go, but at the same time, it was like, well, what if they all start doing that? Like, we can't go. You gotta roll your R when you say, oh, Bradigan. But I still have to know if it's Bra or Bray. I could definitely roll the R's. Bradigan. Hold it. They routed our troops. So I'm thinking Braveheart. They routed our best troops. So or how about apologizing to every on the from here back to England for rape and torture and murder. Bradigan. I'm so bad at this. I'm the man of 1,000 voices. Brad. Okay, so it is Bradigan, but it's Bradigan. There once was a man named Chris Bradigan. There once was a man named Chris Bradigan. There once was a name. Like, here we go. Here's a guy with a name to pronounce. It's Bradigan. Bradigan. Come here, Bradigan. I'll buy you a beer. Okay. So it is Johnny Marahiel. I think I actually did it right. It is Johnny Marahiel. That's definitely better than Green Bean has ever said it. Because I used to think it was Johnny Marahiel, but it is Johnny Marahiel. I am the first YouTube content provider for the Jets that can say your name. It is Johnny Marahiel and Chris Bradigan. Hell, MC are going to be so special for us. It's crazy. Dakota's trying so hard to pull it back to the Jets. Yeah, I think that Breece Hall, and I think that it's going to be very special, especially with our offensive line. Remember, it all starts with an offensive line. It's absolutely been second in receiving yards in the first in touchdowns. If Chase doesn't have that historic rookie season. Oh, you're talking about Elijah? Yeah, look, Elijah's good, man. Like, I have no doubt. I have his jersey. That's my boy. This means Elijah. It doesn't matter if I'm wearing a jersey or not. When I do this, you know exactly what I mean. Okay? I'm not even going to say his name. I'm going to say, who do we have at wide receiver? We have Corey Davis, Garrett Wilson, and Berrios, and Mims. Okay. He's saying, stop, go cook for your woman. I must be butchering his name. Okay. Oh, no. Yeah, I'm saying it right. Tevin Coleman is a beast, and my dude is third string. That's how good we are, man. That's how good we are. Johnny Morello. What do you think about what Boomer said about Becton? I think Boomer sucks. You know what? Boomer should stop cheating on his wife. But that was a long time ago, so maybe it's not nice for me to say that. But the year before he became a Jet, he cheated on his wife. So I don't know if he had sex with the girl, but I watched him make out with a girl in a bar on the Upper East Side, and I have witnesses, so he can't sue me for saying it. So, let him worry about that. Let him. No, look. You see, mess with my man Becton, I'm going to get cruel and I'm going to get mean and I'm going to start telling the truth. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. I think people better stop. Enjoy the doghouse. What does that mean? Enjoy the doghouse. Oh yeah, I'm going to be in trouble. I'm going to be in the doghouse. You're right. I think he's absolutely wrong. Like, and if I'm reading, I think he was saying something about him being cut or something, right? I think it's an absolute joke. It's absolutely the worst take I've ever heard. So, a horrendously bad take from a guy who did nothing for the Jets. Johnny Johnson basically had to carry the offense when Boomer was here. So I don't care what he says. He's not a smart guy. He's a moron. Looking forward to it. I hope that you have an amazing night. Good night, Cameron. People are starting to go to bed. Maybe that means I could leave now. Good night, Iowan. Chris Bradigan, what are you saying? There was once a guy named Bradigan that is a diehard Jets fan that would die hard on his sword for the Super Bowl. I love it. What is this? He didn't have sex with her. She had sex with him. He tried not to be sexual. Hey, I only saw them making out in the bar. That's all I'm saying. At the time, I wasn't disgusted in him. I was just saying, "Oh my God, it's Boomer Esiason from the Cincinnati Bengals." Little did I know he may have been negotiating with the Jets or something. I don't know how much it was before he became a Jet. I don't know what he was doing in New York. Maybe it was like tampering or something. Because before he became a Jet and he was on the Bengals, he was on an Upper East Side in a bar. I was with all my friends. We were in a bar, and someone said, "Holy shit, that's Boomer Esiason." We looked over, and there he was. And he was literally showing the girl his driver's license. How cheesy is that? To prove it was him. And then the next thing you know, they're making out. He had to prove it was him first. It's how pathetic is that? You have to prove it's you, and then she'll kiss you. And it's like talk about know you're being used, and you like two people using each other and not caring or having any self-respect about it. Jets Fan United, good night. Do you think Tariq Black has a chance to have a breakout season this year? I don't. Unless a horrible thing happened and there was a tremendous amount of injuries. There would have to be a lot of injuries because I just don't think there's anything he could do that would give him the opportunity to be on the field for him to have a breakout season. So, you know what I mean? But look, I could be wrong. Right? I could be wrong. He didn't do anything when he was on the field last year. So why would he all of a sudden have a breakout season? So, But look, like if he did, I'd be happy to be wrong. Look, I don't root against any Jet. I don't care. I don't care who it is. If someone's good, they're good. That'd be great. So, you think he's better than Mims? I don't know. We'll see. Well, look, we're gonna see. We're gonna see what Mims is this year. So we're gonna find out a lot. We're gonna learn, find out what Mims has. But guys, I really gotta go. It's for real, for real. So before I read any of the chat and you talk me out of it, thank you. I'll be back on Wednesday night. Hey, I'll probably be on with Green Bean tomorrow. Who knows? I don't know what his plans are, but if he's on, I'll certainly be backstage or offering to help him. Sometimes if he gets tired of talking by himself, he'll bring me in, and that's always a lot of fun. We'll find out. We'll see what happens. But just watch this. Watch this so I can go. Here, watch this. It's a lot of energy. You like it. Oh, yeah. Go. Amazing. That's my boy. That's my boy.
Breaks away from a sack and completes the pass for first down.
Oh, Kittle just may have made the most amazing catch.
He fights for the first down and gets out of bounds too.
It's no good. Overtime. Oh, what a catch. How do you drop that? What are you, Jamal Adams? Touchdown.
This is a touchdown all the way.
He reached over the pylon. San Francisco beat Cincinnati.